A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am NABRASS ZAIDI, Assistant Professor of Kamla Nehru Institute of Physical and Social Sciences, Department of Law. I welcome you all today in this session. As you all know that on 1st June, that is 1st June on Monday, we have discussed the problems associated with the students, the problems they face psychologically, mentally, and another natural problems like internet accessibility and many others. And today on 7th June, we are continuing with the same session, specifically focusing on mental health and ways and techniques to improve, groom, and get a hold on it. A very good afternoon once again, and I welcome you wholeheartedly in this session where you are going to groom your mental health with us. If I talk about the young people in the country, and not only in India, but around the globe, internationally, if I talk about the young people, almost 3/4 of young people are feeling more anxious about the future as a result of COVID-19 pandemic. New research suggested a survey by Royal Society of Public Health found that 70% of 18 to 24-year-old are experiencing more anxiety than usual. If I talk about the suicidal cases, the leading cases, the suicide leading cause over 300 lockdown deaths in India. Study says New Delhi. Suicide was the leading cause over 300 non-coronavirus deaths reported in India due to distress triggered by the nationwide lockdown. This is something very, very painful we all are going through. And if I talk about the international aspect, it is not, as I said, not a problem of India or some other country, but internationally we are suffering with this problem, and it is really very important to talk about it. The Washington Post says democracy dies in darkness. The coronavirus pandemic is pushing America into a mental health crisis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am not going to ask the cause behind these suicides. I am not going to ask the cause behind these, these mental health crises. I am not going to ask the cause behind the country's nervous breakdown. Yes, I want to know the solution. I want to know the solution where we can hold these painful attacks, these panic attacks, these mental health crises. And for this, we have Mr. Vatsal Ranjan Singh, our guest speaker for the day. He is a wellness and fitness coach. He trained women and children from different walks of life, expert in Krav Maga, parkour, and survivor. He is also a mountaineer and has scaled notable peaks in Himachal and Ladakh with numerous cycling activities. He is an active part of Audex India Random. So over to you, Mr. Vatsal. As we have discussed here, that today we are facing a whole lot of problems related to mental health issues. And my students are really keen to know from you that what kind of techniques should we adopt? What kind of mental and psychological issues we can fight with through those techniques. So we are waiting for your solutions and for your advice. Over to you, Mr. Vatsal.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. And let's begin from where we left, from where actually I left. So yes, getting to the topic is when we talk about health, the second word that comes is fitness. Whenever we talk about health, fitness is related. Fitness is what we aspire for. So where I left was that fitness shall be a need of everyone. Fitness shall be your need rather than being a want, desire, or a dream. So it starts with the decision. It starts with the problem. not a problem, with a motive. I won't call it a problem like obesity or diabetes. But what society thinks about your body and how you see yourself, how you want to present yourself in the society is something I don't really appreciate. I appreciate how I want to present myself to myself rather than how I want to present myself to others. So it is simple. It starts with your brain, which is your psychological and mental health, mental fitness, mental strength, and it ends over there. The moment your body stops working, it is only because your brain has decided not to work any further. Now, fitness is into four categories. How I see it, it's categorized into four different categories. They are, the first one is mental health, your psychological or mental health. The second one is your emotional health. And the third one is your immune system, your internal organs. The fourth one, last, is your physical stability, physical strength, endurance, whatever you want to call it. So, and all four of this is one of the best thing. Human body, if you want to know about something, human body is the most amazing thing, most amazing machinery you can come across, because how every aspect is interrelated, how every aspect affects us. Like, these four are into chronological order: the mental health, then your emotional health, then your immune system and internal organs, organ functioning, and then comes your physical fitness and your endurance or strength. But you can start from up to down or down to up, any way you like. Both are going to end up very well. Both are going to end up very well. So there's no pattern that you have to follow, that you have to first decide. The only decision you have to take is first train your body, start eating good, and then start behaving good, start doing good within your relations, and then coming back to your mental health. Or you can go all the way from first to top, from top to bottom. So it's absolutely unrelated to a pattern. There's no pattern as such. And now I would want you to know that how mental health actually affects us. What what is the major strength that we have? Brain, mental health. So the moment you decide you want to do something, that's that keeps processing within your attributes, within your daily activities. Everything that you do after that depicts it. Everything, the way you get up, the way you eat, the way you treat others, everything is dependent and is correlated from your mental or psychological health. Next comes your emotional health and your immune system. Now, I would relate it as emotions. Emotions are shared within us as well as expressed. So, the first expression is within us, and then we move on forward to expressing it to the people. So, emotions are related to our relations. It is directly related to how well we are related to people in our surrounding. So here comes the interrelation between the emotional health and your immune system. When your body function, when your body organs, suppose your heart or your body is full of cholesterol, that means that you are putting some really garbage in your body. Similarly, if you have bitter relations with people, bitter relations in your surrounding, if your emotions are not well on track, if you are not considerable, if you are not accepting the accepting the way people exist in your vicinity, then you are again putting in some real garbage in your relations. So what we put comes back to us in form of our immunity as well as in form of our relations. So you need to dump, you don't need to dump actually, you don't need to dump anything in your body or put anything that you want, that's necessary, that's not required. Don't do that. Don't do that. Put really good things in yourself as well as in your relations. That is the only way you can have balance in your body as well as in your relations. That's all. Now, the questions that were put up in this session are how to practice this. How to practice this is really simple. You don't have to. You don't have to practice it. The moment you start focusing on that, I have to do with it. No, consider yourself fit. How to control level of anxiety when the fear of virus is all around. Okay, so it's not actually anxiety. Anxiety is a different term. Anxiety is something, I won't go on the meaning, that would confuse, but it's not anxiety. It's actually panic. Don't panic. You are just in a situation of panic. Anxiety would be if you were affected, if you would have known a positive coronavirus, and anxiety would have been when you would have been infected with it, or you would have gone in contact with it. Here you have fear, and that's why you are in a state of panic. So panic leads to chaos, always. No matter what the situation is, what the surroundings are, panic leads to chaos and nothing else. You need to channelize your fear. Fear is a good thing. We only have fear when something needs to be done. Fear comes with a solution first, and then it actually affects us. So you need to look harder through things. You need to look harder through things. You just have to go through it, follow what's required, follow the rules, follow what your surroundings are contained with. That's it. And stay safe. Stay safe. The virus, we are surrounded with virus. There are different types of virus. It is not the first time that we are encountering a problem or a disease. We are surrounded with it, diseases everywhere. There is so much of garbage in our society, garbage as in the actual garbage, that many diseases, no matter how, pollen grains and everything, contaminated levels of pollution, cancer, as it was said in the last video conferencing, last meeting, that cancer is a common aspect nowadays. In every family we have cancer cases. Similarly, don't panic. Coronavirus is not just killing people. People are getting cured as well. Cancer is not just killing people. People are getting out of it as well. So it's just same. It's just same. There is nothing to worry about. There's everything to be precautious. Take precautions. Take precautions. Stay safe, and eat well, do good. That's it. There's no point in panicking. The moment you panic, your body gets numb. Your brain stops to process further. Stops to process, your body will be stagnant and you won't be able to do anything further. The action power, the reaction power, that gets reduced by a majority percentage the moment you panic. So this is not anxiety, this is just panic. And people ask me that what do we do in this period of lockdown, or how do we manage things, mental health. Every person in this world, you can hear them asking, if you interact with them, you will once in a while you will find them saying that, if I get time, if ever I get time in life, I would like to do this, I would like to learn this, I would like to do this, I would like to master this thing, I would like to practice this, something or the other. This lockdown gave us the time. The only thing we needed was improvisation. I know that the resources can be lacking at the time, but there's nothing like we cannot learn or we cannot do. We are full of opportunities, full of things that we want to do. Everyone is. It's just that, don't look outside, look inside. This is the time we look inside. This is not the time we look outside. Look inside and just be yourself. Just be yourself. Mental health, the most important aspect of mental health is you need to look inside, not outside. Your psychological strength begins from you and ends at you. It doesn't begins from anyone else. It doesn't goes to anyone else. It doesn't affects anyone else. It doesn't affect anyone else. It only affects you. It only affects you in a very positive way, and it could also affect you in a very devastating way. Very devastating, which can be at times out of control. So there's no pattern in it. Nobody can tell you, nobody can draft a statutory universal pattern of training your brain, or training your attributes, or getting yourself clear. Only you can do it. Only you can do it. Just sit in peace, talk less, listen more. Talk less, listen more. The reason we have two ears and one mouth is simple. Hear double, then you speak. Hear twice, then you speak. That keeps you in control. Control and compulsion. These two things are interrelated. The moment you let external surroundings, external environment control you, you are being compelled to do whatsoever they want, whatsoever is running in the society, whatsoever is so called in trend. So trend, don't go for the trends. Don't go for the, if you want to be mentally strong, don't go for the trends. Not all the trends suits you. Not all the trend is meant for you. Not everything is meant for you. So set your own trend, make your own pattern. Nobody can tell you, no one in this world can tell you, not a psychiatrist, not a doctor, not a psychologist. Nobody can tell you that how to train your mental health. The only thing, because we suffer from different problems. I'm suffering from a different problem. The 35, the other 34 participants are suffering from a different problem. So everyone is having some or the other kind of problem, and that problem has a specific solution, because we can have common problems, but we are not common in totality. Two different individuals can have a same problem, but those two individuals will have to take different measures in order to deal with the problem. That's the toughness, that's the rigid part, that's the part where you need to take care of yourself. Nobody else is going to do it, nobody else can do it. So am I clear?
Yes,
Any more
but
questions?
I think we are not having any question right now because the speech is so clear and the concept is so clear. I would like to, point out some of the very, very important things which you have mentioned here for my students, and also to discuss it with you, Mr. Vatsal, that you said
Sure.
the mind and body is correlated. All my students who belong to law must have heard it, must have read it, must have practiced it and learned it for the examinations, that rights and duties are correlated. We have a chapter in law, for your kind information, I'm telling you. In jurisprudence, we
Yes.
have a chapter that rights and which specifically talks about rights and duties. And we always learn that rights and duties are correlated, duties and rights are correlated. And similarly, when you talk about the body and the mind, that they are correlated. So we can relate with our subject as well. And very well said that body and mind is correlated. Whatever we give message to our mind, the body respond to it. And I have practiced it. I want to tell all the viewers who are not listening per se, but seeing me as well, the way I'm sitting, the posture, the right posture I'm sitting has been taught me from by Mr. Vatsal Ranjan Singh in this lockdown period, in this few 2 or 3 couple of days. So I'm thankful for that. And you should also practice to keep your backbone straight. And as we all say, that backbone is a, the crucial part of your body and the very significant part of your body. And we say every specific thing as a backbone, like agriculture is a backbone of India, and so on. So you talk about the rights and duties, and like similarly the mind and body is correlated. One thing also you have mentioned very nicely, that so you sow, so you reap. I concluded it, it's like this, that you said whatever we eat, whatever we feed to our mind, the thoughts we feed to our mind, and whatever we feed to our body, whatever we eat, is the result we feel and we follow. So I also want to say to all my students that as you sow, so you reap. There is no other outer influence that will influence you or your body. So it is a very, very keen tip that always we consider. Always consider what you are eating. Yes, yes, Mr. Vatsal, what you want to say?
Yes, since we got ample of time, so I would like to specify. I would like to give an example of how to have control. How to have control. Uh, Lately, earlier, when WhatsApp was there, still it is. The about, now in your profile, in your settings, when you go, you get about. So about was earlier your status, and after that your status changed to your story. And the moment WhatsApp launched uh, the story feature, it gave everybody just jumped to it. Now is the time, whenever you get something advanced, whenever something is introduced to you or in your external environment, that is the time when you need to think, was, is, or will be my life incomplete without this thing? Was
Definitely.
your life incomplete without putting the stories? I see people who are prey, who are slaves to technology, who are slaves to technological advancements. They put the same story on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, WhatsApp, and whatnot, everywhere same story. Why do they do so? Why why question this. Ask this to yourself. Question it to yourself, that is your life incomplete without the Instagram or WhatsApp story? Was your life incomplete earlier when this feature was not there? It wasn't there for a very long period of time. It was launched in the year 2017, and WhatsApp has been since, I
12,
guess,
12,
2011,
11,
12,
11.
11 or 12. So is everything given to you really yours? Do you really need it? Do you have its practical implication? Do you, or you are just filling your empty spaces with garbage? Don't fill your.
That's what I support you for, the cause that when you said what you feed to your mind and what you feed to your stomach is very essential, and that's all the thing which are influencing us, not any other outer calamities or outer atmosphere. Or one very beautiful thing when which you said is this also, that look inside. People are not looking inside their own soul, their own body, their own mind. They are concerned with the people talking around, people reacting around, people giving advice around, and whatnot. All these situations are going through in the current scenario. And similarly, they are being affected with the news channels and media, and of course the COVID-19, some positive news and some a whole lot of negative news. So it is also very advisable to all of you that you should look inside you. That what he said, that it is not anxiety, but it is panic. The correct term which we should use is panic attack. That anxiety is not influencing us. It is a fear of getting into that garbage and getting into that sort of panic attacks which we will get after listening all the news and all the other informations which are coming across the globe. So focus on yourself, see your inner beauty, your inside visions, your inside thoughts, and then go in that league. Not any outer surface should, outer calamity, outer atmosphere should affect you. A very, very important thing. Anything else you want to say?
Anyone can ask questions, because we are full of questions. Everyone is full.
We also have Dr. Juhi Reis with us, and she is saying that it is nice talking to you, and she's also saying thank you to the organizer for the fruitful talk. I I thought of sharing with you. With this
Thank
note,
you.
I think
Thank you for the
we
words.
are able to end our session with your permission, Mr. Vatsal.
Sure, sure.
So
Absolutely.
ladies and gentlemen, here on the screen, you can see my and Mr. Vatsal Ranjan Singh email ID. You can save it, you can have a screenshot of it, or whatever way you want to save it, you can. Last but not the least, I would like to thank Mr. Vatsal Ranjan Singh for cooperating with us, for giving his valuable time and very, very essential informations to us. I am highly thankful to you, Mr. Vatsal Ranjan, and all the participants who have given their very valuable time, given their Sunday to us, and we are always there to help you. We are always there to talk to you, just as a friend, just as a mentors. Last but not the least, I would like to say to all my listeners, to all my viewers, to all my dear students, and to all my dear friends, whenever you feel bad in your life, whenever you face hardship in your life, just sit and count your blessings. Count your blessings and you will see your God has surprised you. With this note, your host, NABRASS MEHDI ZAIDI, taking a bye-bye. Hope to see you soon.